Hey guys, welcome to another Triple Commentary with Clazzert, Moltrap, and Diggity. Man, this is just going to be absolutely fantastic. This is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg match on Loki 2 between July Zerg and Yrnc, and both have very competent players. Looks like July Zerg is going to be in green in the bottom left-hand corner, and we have Yrnc in the upper right-hand corner in red. And who do you call to kind of win this match here, Clazzert? Do you have a favorite here?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to say who do I want to win as opposed to who do I think will win, I would probably want July to win. Who do I think to win is anyone's guess. I was very impressed with Yrnc in Game 5 of that group versus Nada, although he did have a little bit of luck there. July, I think, probably is more famous for his Zerg versus Zerg than Yrnc is, and really this could be anyone's game. This map is interesting as well because there are a lot of proxy strategies and all that. But on that note, I have to say, July Zerg looking absolutely slick, looking like an assassin right now with his hair flicked up and having trimmed down a little bit. Looks like he's been working out. So my call would be for July, but I think this is anyone's game. It just depends on it's just so luck-based as well.
So it looks like the Overlords passing each other in the night at the moment, and we'll see if we're going to run into a 12 hatch or 9 pool or any of that exciting action. What's your call, Moltrap?
You know, it's hard to say. First of all, going back to my color theory, of course, yellow is, Yrnc is red, and July is green. We haven't seen any green lately, so it's going to be difficult to see how that works out. Red is the color that, you know, Savior has been doing good with red, Jaedong did good with red, but then Jaedong just won with purple, so we'll have to see how green ranks, basically. This will be a test of green's power. Basically, Yrnc lately, his record sucks. But lately, like the last 15-20 games he's been playing, he's been really on top of things, and so he's been kind of getting almost notoriety for his Zerg versus Zerg lately. It still has to be really proven, I think, but he's been doing pretty decently lately. July, it's hard to call July because he's been such a loose cannon the last, you know, several months. I mean, he can beat Bisu, but then he gets outed in the early rounds of Star Leagues and that sort of thing. So it's, you know, it's hard to tell.
Really quick call in the action here. It looks like Yrnc getting a little creative here. He's going to send out a drone. I'm not sure if that's just a scout drone, but usually a scout drone, you're going to go straight down the middle. July's are going to take his protected secondary in the meantime. He's also got gas down, so yeah, going to a 12 o'clock position hatchery. He's already put down his pool. I didn't see him put down his gas. July has the gas down a little bit earlier, or I should say July has his gas down now. Well, I'm not sure if Yrnc does in the meantime, but that's interesting. I'm not sure why he's chosen that position. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's chosen that position. Yeah, Team Liquid, woo! Hey, that's Quesadilla. Awesome. What's up, Quesadilla? Really? Yeah, that's Quesadilla right there. The Ling's being produced for Yrnc in the meantime. He's going to send it down, now teching to Lair.
July having his Lair up.
Yeah, awesome. And then that protected secondary. We'll see if July is going to have a. I'm sure he's going to have a defense. He's also got his Lings going right now. His hatchery is going to be done obviously faster than Yrnc's is, and he's also going to have the speed upgraded Lings. That might be the difference in the game. What do you think about the kind of the little tech difference and also that 12 o'clock proxy hatch class?
Yeah, this is a little bit confusing to me. I mean, if you're going to put that proxy hash down, I'd expect you to be doing almost a Ling Rush or something. July brilliantly anticipating putting Zerglings as well as drones to stop Yrnc from getting up there, so that's brilliant for July. But I think that even though it was a kind of a clever move to start with, unless you're going to go in really mass Ling and really just kind of Ling the opponent out before they can get a Spire up, I don't see the benefit of that hatchery. Hidden away. It's going to be much harder to defend.
Oh no, okay, July got reinforcements. For a second there, it looked like Yrnc was actually going to break through. Now he's starting to produce something here, and we'll see if he decides to produce Lings for a Ling Rush, or if he's producing drones just to, for some reason, have a hidden hatchery. Go ahead and continue, class. Sorry about the interruption.
Yeah, as I was saying, so Yrnc's not put that Spire down, and this just perplexes me as well. I think, July might not be. I think the main benefit of that hatchery is the fact that July doesn't have an Overlord hovering over it, so he's not going to have as much scouting information. I think that's the main benefit. But I think that being said, it's going to be much harder for Yrnc to defend that hatchery if it comes under fire. His forces are going to be a lot more spread out, and July can you know, send Lings one place and Mutalisks another place, and Yrnc's going to find it difficult to defend. Yrnc, though, the only advantage of that hatchery is that it's got a short distance to July's base for those extra Lings, and Yrnc has produced a lot more Lings. So if July can survive Yrnc's Lings, he's going to come out on top. If he can't, he's going to lose. And maybe the problem for July is that he doesn't know. He doesn't know how many Lings Yrnc is producing, and that makes it difficult for him to calculate how much he needs to defend with.
Yeah, I think that's basically why he put it up there. Sorry, just real quick. I think that's basically why he put it up there, is so that it wouldn't be scouted, and also so that, I mean, July doesn't even know it's there, I don't think. He hasn't had a chance to scout it at all. He doesn't even know how many extra hatcheries Yrnc might have out in the field somewhere. And, oh, a couple Lings sneaking in.
Oh, in the meantime, Spire's still not up for July Zerg. I think the Spire was already up. The one advantage here is he can produce the Mutalisks there, and not, oh wow, a couple links sneaking through. July Zerg getting caught a little bit with his pants down. Now he's going to start producing Mutalisks, and with that, actually, I think that's going to be the difference here because he put it at the 12 o'clock position and got that base out faster. He's going to have to harass a lot faster. Wow, Ling's getting all the way back into the protecting secondary, taking out a single drone there. July Zerg forcing to basically he's going to have to bring some Lings out the front, and a huge Ling force there now, just waiting. And the question is will Yrnc be able to break the front door before the Mutalisks come out? And even if the Mutalisks do come out, will Yrnc be able to take them down quickly enough? And that's the question. Now we see the Mutalisks, and this is the do or die moment right here. Mutalisks coming in, going to attack the Lings. Yrnc trying to push up, but it looks like that front door is going to hold. He still has 2 Lings in the background being harassed, and this is an interesting micro situation between the main, between the secondary, 2 Lings running the background, and now the Mutalisks coming up for Yrnc, going to be able to take down that Overlord in the field. But interestingly enough, I think July Zerg definitely pulled through. Did a better job. That Overlord now going to scout that 12 o'clock hatchery. Who do you think has the advantage in the game at this moment here, Class?
I would have to give the advantage to July Zerg because really Yrnc's advantage with that hatchery was the element of surprise. He's now lost that. It's going to come down to micro here. July's going to try and take down one of those Mutalisks, and July's Mutalisks seem to be slightly more bunched up than Yrnc's. I don't think it's going to have an effect. And yep, July's got 3 Mutalisks to Yrnc's 2. Yrnc's bases are spread out. Yrnc's got another Mutalist out as well. But I think Yrnc's going to have difficulty here, especially if he's going to lose a few drones. It looks like July's going to try and pick off one of the drones. And oh my god, July's got Scourge as well, so Yrnc's in huge trouble here. He's using most of the drones. This looks like July's game to me, Diggity. This looks like July's game to me.
Yeah. Absolutely, as you can see, just picking out drums. I'm surprised he's not going after gas first, but even if a battle happens with the Mutalisks over that probe line, you get the splash damage into the probes. As you can see, Yrnc trying to draw those Mutalisks back, but it looks like they're held position. Very intelligent, and in a moment we're going to see reinforcements from July probably into his base, and now going after the gas, but he's already absolutely no minerals being produced anymore.
Yeah, it's over.
And that's it. It's so precise in Zerg versus Zerg, which is why I love this matchup. Just little things here and there can decide it. When you're going with a standard strategy, and no drones, only gas right now. Absolutely no drones at this point. This game is definitely in July Zerg's hands. Trying to proxy some over, it's just not going to happen. Looks like he's deciding, and now July Zerg,
does
calls
look pretty
GG
slick
right there.
You're right.
Yeah, oof. Absolutely dominating that matchup. So we're going to see Yrnc versus Bisoon coughing right there. It looks like feeling a little ill, I guess, and we're going to see July versus Jaedong, and that's going to be an absolutely fantastic matchup. So really quick, what are your guys' calls from the upcoming game? Do you think that Jaedong will be able to absolutely pummel July, or July actually looking very good in Zerg versus Zerg there? Will he be the winner? And also on the opposite side, Bisu versus Yrnc, will that just be a slaughter, or will Bisu maybe falter here a little bit there? And how will that end up going? I'll go with you first, Moltrap. What are your opinions on it?
Jaedong versus July. Obviously, Jaedong has in a very short time basically racked up almost legendary status in his Zerg versus Zerg. You think he's something like, he's over 70%. And, you know, even though Zerg versus Zerg can be a crapshoot, getting over 70% means it's not a crapshoot for Jaedong. But, you know, again, like I was saying before, July Zerg can go either way. So it might, you know, it depends on what side of the bed July Zerg woke up on this morning, basically. As far as Bisu versus Yrnc, I don't think there's any way Yrnc can beat Bisu, honestly.
What are your opinions, Glazer?
Yeah, actually, I just realized something, guys. Bisu should be the one with the real advantage in this group, considering that it's 1 Protoss player and 3 Zerg players. He's only had to practice for 1 matchup. Right, and he's only got to practice for 1 matchup, whereas the Zergs have got to practice for 2 matchups each. So I think that's something that should have been favoring Bisu all along. I think with the July, I'm not really going to comment on Yrnc versus Bisu because I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think Bisu was probably going to stomp all over him quite comfortably. But I think Yrnc didn't really test July in that game. I think Yrnc's build was a little bit silly, and he didn't really achieve anything with it. It was kind of a nothing build. It was kind of something we see, you know, Stork do a little bit in the finals where he didn't really commit himself. And that's sort of the attitude Yrnc seemed to have a little bit against Nada in their first game in their group, even though he came through in the end because of a mistake by Nada in the end. But I think July versus Jaedong, I think July does look quite sharp. I think his micro was spot on there. He countered Yrnc's early Ling build quite effectively and turned that into a decisive advantage for himself. I think it's really unpredictable, and I fear for Jaedong. But at the same time, you know, I would be very happy to see. I mean, it's difficult for me to call because I think, first of all, I am obviously a Zerg fan, so I'm obviously very biased, and July and Jaedong both going through would be sweet. But at the same time, I think an MSL without Bisu would really be missing something.
That's an interesting comment. Any final thoughts from either of you guys on the upcoming games or anything?
Just a final, just a final thought. You did mention that that Bisu has an all Zerg group basically, and being second during the steel draft, that's what he did. Is he switched around everyone in his group to make sure that he had all Zergs in his group, and he actually picked Jaedong to be his first matchup. So this is completely intentional by Bisu. Obviously, Protoss versus Zerg being his best matchup. So be interested to see if it backfires on him.
Any final thoughts, class?
No, I think that's it, Willie.
All right, guys. We're having a really good time doing this, so hope you guys are enjoying listening it. Thanks for listening. We're going on to Game 3.